the first one I want to focus on was the Whittaker over Cannonier fight.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That was just I mean, to be clear, I thought Cannonier had it, especially the way Israel Adesanya was speaking about
You're talking about
Cannonier.
pre-fight, you thought Cannonier had it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, no, not during the fight,
Oh,
but like going
okay.
into it, yeah, no, going into it, I was like, okay, Cannonier's got this. He's just got to get through Whittaker, and then all of a sudden, he's going to, he's going to be the title contender for Israel Adesanya because he had the backing of Adesanya. And for me, when you're a UFC champion, when you're a
Well,
fighting champion, you usually can recognize greatness in others, and I just didn't see greatness in Mr. Cannonier. I just didn't.
my theory on that is Adesanya put out Cannonier's name to hype him up because he'd rather face Cannonier than face Whittaker again. He doesn't. He knows that Whittaker can take him if they fight again, or has at least a really good chance at beating him.
Has what it takes to beat him.
Adesanya has not faced an opponent twice yet. All right, so if if you get tape on him and you have fought against him already, maybe you've seen something that you can go back to camp and you'll be able to fix and correct, and you'll be able to get him to the ground. I mean, that's the hardest thing, is getting Adesanya down. He is extremely hard to get advantage of, but Robert Whittaker...
Yeah, his takedown defense is crazy.
Robert Whittaker is one of the best fighters, and at the middleweight division, he dominated for so long, and then he lost one fight to Israel Adesanya in New Zealand. They're both New Zealanders, and it was just the momentum was all on Izzy's side. Now let's see this fight on Fight Island or without a crowd. Let's see how Izzy does against
even in
Whittaker.
Vegas. Let's see it at the Apex Center.
Yeah, but either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, that would be interesting. Put him back in the smaller cage. You're going to see another big striking match between the two. So it'll be interesting to see how both of them handle fighting each other again, because it's clear cut. They've already named Robert Whittaker the number 1 contender. He's going to be fighting Izzy at some point next year, and it's probably going to be a test. This is if Israel Adesanya can beat Whittaker again, then I don't think there's anybody else in the division that can take him. But I think this is going to be a true challenge for Israel Adesanya. I think this is the time that Robert Whittaker takes back the title and takes hold of the middleweight division again. I think he is just more experienced. I think he's a better fighter. I think Adesanya has a little bit more to learn. And I think Whittaker's experience is just going to play a huge factor.
It's interesting to me because Adesanya reminds me not in the cage, but just persona wise, he reminds me a lot of Conor McGregor. Right? They have very big personalities. They talk the talk and they can walk the walk. I think nobody has been able to humble Israel Adesanya forever. And not that they have to necessarily, but like you said, he's never faced somebody twice. He's never had somebody learn some information and then be able to respond. It'll be interesting to see because, I watched that Whittaker Adesanya fight, and I see what everyone else sees. I see that Whittaker definitely had the shot there to take it home, and he didn't. But I'm looking forward to it because the UFC, they have done an amazing job with all of these cards, with all of these fights. Robert Whittaker beating Cannonier was just, it was incredible. Just for the simple fact that what I expected and what I saw were completely different, and yet I still wasn't surprised because I expect greatness from both sides based on the cards that we're getting every single, I guess, month.